Okay, so just to shoot through these, use the pattern rule and make the pattern first 5 ones. What? Oh, thank you. So I'm going to start with 8 and then subtract 1 each time. So we got 8. Okay. And now we're going to start with 3 and we're going to multiply by 2 each time. So I got 3, then I got 3 times 2, and then 6 times 2, and then 12 times 2, and then 24 times 2. Next, I'm going to start with 5, and then I'm going to add 6 each time. So I got 5, and then I add 6, and then I got 11, and I add 6, then I got 17, and I add 6, and then I got 23 and add 6. And finally, I'm going to start with 81, and I'm going to divide by 3 each time. So 81 divided by 3 is what? It's 27. Then I got 27 divided by 3, which is what? 9. And then I've got 9 divided by 3, which is what? And then I've got 3 divided by 3, 1. So anybody have any questions on that? All right. So next, find the given term in the pattern. So like this one, started with 36 and then added 12 each time. And they wanted me to find the third one. So 36 plus 12 is 48. And then 48 plus 12 is 60. 60 is the third term, boom. So then I do the same thing here. I start with 32. 32 and divide by 2 each time. So what's 32 divided by 2? 16. They want me to go to the fourth term. So now I got 16 divided by 2, 8. And then I've got 8 divided by 2, 4. That's my fourth term, so 4. Next I got 50. Start at 50 and subtract 4 each time. So 50 minus 4, 46. 46 minus 4, 42. 42 minus 4, minus 4, minus 4, minus 4, and then minus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 is 22. Start with 2 and multiply by 4 each time. So what's 2 times 4? 8. What's 8 times 4? They said the third term, boom, 32. So anybody got any questions on this? Complete the table for each sequence of matchstick shapes. Use the function rule for finding the number of matchsticks needed for the shape in the 20th position. So I know if I got one shape, it's 4 matchsticks. If I got 2 shapes, it's 8 matchsticks. If I got 3 shapes, it's 12 matchsticks. So I can think about it like this is my input, right? So if I input 1, I get 4. If I input 2, I get 8. If I input 3, I get 12. So the number of matchsticks equals the shape number times what? 4. Shape number 1, 1 times 4 is 4. Shape number 2, 2 times 4 is 8. Shape number 3, 3 times 4 is 12. So then what's the next number? 16. What's the next number? 20. So now I've got 20. What's the 20th? 80. So next, I've got this shape. This is a hexagon. So I've got one shape that gives it's got 6 matchsticks. And 2 shapes is 12 matchsticks. 3 shapes is 18 matchsticks. So the number of matchsticks equals the shape number times what? 6. Every shape is 6. So then what's the next one? It's 24. 6 times 4. What about the next one? 30. 6 times 5. And then what about the 20th? It's 120. So now let's start talking about this. How do you get each term from the previous term? So now we're just saying what we're doing. So let's look at B. I went 81, 79, 77, 75. What am I doing there each time? I'm subtracting 2. So right here, I went 3, then 12, then 48, then 192. What am I doing each time here? Multiplying by 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 4 is 48. 48 times 4 is 192. I'm at 2. Then I got 10, 50, 250. So what am I doing? Multiplying by 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 5 is 50. 50 times 5 is 250. All right, so now I got 46, 41, 36, 31. What am I doing here? Subtracting 5. And then last but not least, 4,440 and 4. What am I doing there? So I'm dividing by 10. Now, 6 and 7 are a little different. Ella says she made a pattern by adding 4 each time. Write the first 3 terms of 2 different patterns that she could make. So what's the one thing I know I need to do? I need to add 4. They don't tell me what to start with. They just tell me to make 2 different patterns. So I can start with whatever I want to. So what am I starting with? Javari? 4. So I'm gonna start with 4 and then I'm gonna add 4. So what's my next term? 8. And I've got 8, I'm gonna add 4. So that's my first pattern. So now, Ray, what am I starting with this time? Start with 5. The pattern says add 4. So I've got 5 plus 4, that's 9. And then I got 9 plus 4, 13. You can pick whatever number you want to start with because they didn't give you that restriction. All they said was that you had to add 4. They said you had to add 4. So you got to pick. The only restriction was adding 4. Somewhere over there there's a small one, but they're all kind of small. All right, so let's look at this one. Sarah says she made a pattern starting with 4. The first 3 terms for 2 different patterns that she could make. Well, I'm sorry, write the first 3 terms for 2 different patterns she could make. So what's the only restriction I got on these 2 patterns? I have to start with 4. So I can do whatever I want. Tristan, what's my pattern? What am I doing? Add what? I just didn't hear you. Add what? Add 3? Okay. So I'm going to add 3. So 4. 4 plus 3 is? 7 plus 3 is? 10. Okay. So Bree, what's my next pattern? What's my next pattern? It's whatever you want. Okay, so we're going to do what with 6? No, that's okay. Whatever you want. Divide by 2? Oh, add by 2. Okay. You want to multiply by 2? Okay, it doesn't matter. You get to pick it. So we're going to multiply by 2. So I've got 4, then I've got 4 times 2. That's adding. So 4 times 2 is 8. And now I got 8 times 2. What's 8 times 2? 16. That's it. I got to pick. I took the restriction that they gave me, and then I got to pick everything else. So they said adding 4, that was my pattern, but they didn't tell me what to start with, so I got to pick. The second one, they told me what to start with, but didn't tell me the pattern, so I got to pick it. Now, this last one is not the same. They don't do that. John says he made a pattern by starting with 3 and adding 5 each time. So I'm starting with 3 and adding 5. So I don't have a lot of leeway. So if I start with 3, what's my next term? Say it again. And then what's my next term? And that's it. So anybody got any questions on that?